Welcome to the basics, intro to web development. If you're watching this video, you're either trying to have a refresher for the class that you were in, or in the future you're trying to take the course again without being live in the in-person class. So I will try to be as quick as possible, but just know that combining this with the other resources is kind of the way the course is intended. So make sure if you are doing this at home without the benefit of having an in-person instructor, you're gathering information from the text, from the resources, from other online videos, either of my own or others, and together you can kind of work out all the solutions to all the problems. I'm not going to be getting into a lot of the concepts as much as I would be in person, but I'm definitely going to get on some tangents related to the tags that we'll be learning. But this is the very first lesson, and it's all based around HTML. So, a few things about the way this course is set up now, July 20th, 2019. By the time you watch this, it might be updated. But these are the CodePen panels that we use for each slide. But they're kind of small. So this is just an image that you're looking at now. If you click on that link over there, edit in CodePen, and sometimes the link doesn't work quite right, so you want to put it right where the C in CodePen is. You'll see your mouse cursor change to the pointer. That's how you know the link is working. It will take you to this exact piece of functionality. Well, no, there's this technology, CodePen, but on the CodePen site. So you have more space to do your work. Some of these challenges get long, so it's sometimes better to have the space. So if you need it, you can click right over here. Now this one will make the whole panel grow larger, so you only see the output. And the same thing with the HTML and later on with the CSS. This will make this left-hand panel take up the whole space. Now that works within the slides as well as on the real CodePen. Now when you're actually in the lesson, and this will be the same setup for each one, the challenge will be at the very bottom. This is wrapped in comments, so you can't see it on the right hand side, but just what I want you to do is always put your answers right here. So if your cursor's here, hit the enter button, maybe even give another space. You'll see me doing it in a little bit. And just put your answer right below the horizontal line, which is this right here. So your answer will always go down here. And lastly, if you want to read more documentation on the specific tag that we're learning, you can click on this button to get to W3 School's documentation page on that tag, or you can listen to my audio walkthrough, which again is a supplement to this video walkthrough. So let's get started. All I want you to do here is write down what you had for breakfast today. So today, I had an egg wrap, and you'll see that it is live and it is currently adding to the code on the right hand side. Now things are going to get a little complicated later, where we're going from here to here and back again. Some information we're going to be reading is from here. It's going to be referencing information that can only be seen here. You'll get the hang of it, right? But for now, I just want to show you that all this is a text editor, right? So we're going to start with some text. I had an egg wrap, I had a iced coffee, and just to spread out the text, I had a bagel with cream cheese and a orange juice. Then you'll see it on the right side. It is going to update. Note on CodePen that if you refresh this page, that will be gone. So this does not save, okay? So just be careful with that. Even if you flip from one slide to the next, your work will be gone. So it's one and done. When we work on Glitch later on, you'll be able to save your projects in a more permanent way. But for now, this is just a practice area. So once you write that text, I just want you to see that you can write unformatted text in this spot. Ultimately, what we do with HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, is we're going to mark up our text. Give me 1 second. For example, if you type in lorem ipsum into Google, you'll get to a page where you can get dummy text. So I'm going to put in some dummy text right here. Oh, why is this stuck here? Hold on. That's annoying. Okay, so You see that this is just text right here. And we're going to be marking it up later on. Sorry about this little yellow dot. When you're doing it live, sometimes you get some errors. Looks like when I jumped on my second screen, this one is stuck here, so I'll be moving it around. Anyway, the point is that we will be adding text to this page. Okay, so this is how you build HTML element, right? So we're gonna have the actual element here. So this is a p tag, and there's gonna be content therein. The content will be all of this. And even within that tag, we can have another one, the strong tag, right? But the idea really here is that you have our opening tag over here, and our closing tag over here. This is the syntax. We got an opening here. I'm going to call this one a caret. This is going to be the HTML element, and here's the closing caret, and then its partner, same thing on this side and this side, but this right here. So you see, I'm starting off the p tag here, I'm ending it here. They're identical, except this is the start, and with that slash, that is the end. So the whole thing is a p tag. Now, embedded within that inline, I've added a strong tag, but it follows the same convention, even though it's within the p tag. There is a opening one right here, caret, element, caret, and then a closing tag, caret, closing slash, element, caret. Memorize that. There'll be very few things you have to memorize in this class. That is one of them. This is how you build elements. If you put a P here and then a capital P here, it won't work. If you put a P here and a P here without the slash, it will not work. So, stare at this for a little while. We're about to see it in the wild in the next slide. Here's a collection of different HTML elements. So by the end of this class, we will be building something like this. So this is going to encapsulate all of our different headings. So in this case, we have the H1, which stands for heading 1. A smaller heading here, which is an H4. As you can see, a P tag, which has margins on the top and bottom. Within it, there looks like something is in italics. So I see the I tag over here. We see a break here for the line break. Again, we're going to be getting into each one of these tags one by one. So for now, I just want you to listen. Looks like there's a link tag here, the A, right? And that's going to take us to, looks like google.com. And then the closing P tag. Opening, closing, with a bunch of little tags in there in between. And then the HR for horizontal rule. Another P tag with strong for the bold. See the strong here. Followed by an image tag with a source being this image and a width of 200 by 200. Now let's just see what happens if I change this to 400. As you can see, the image got larger. See, this is a fully live panel, so you can adjust anything you see over here. So feel free to mess around with this. Feel free to see what happens if you forget the A tag, the closing tag here. See if that link breaks. The link is still working, but you will run into some problems later on. Let's see what happens if we forget the R in SRC. Our image is completely broken, so see, some are more forgiving than others. Do we have any other tags on here? Let's see, we have another P tag and then a UL tag for unordered lists. Here's a list item of an unordered list. So that's the UL with a closing tag here, and then indented into it, and we're going to get into this, an LI tag and the closing LI tag. Okay, so this is a whole page filled with every tag that we're going to learn in this section. Let's move on.